Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to ATM Spellbound. So, since the last episode, it has been a little bit. I've basically been getting some things prepped up, basically to finish out quests, mostly. But what we're going to do, we're going to be finishing off a couple quest tabs. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves our very last Eidolon thing, that is the Warlock's Cloak. Let's go ahead and take that. That's going to complete our chapter for Eidolon and Malum. You know, we've had Malum done for a while, but Eidolon was basically just coming in, making some wicked weave. And, yeah. Worst part of that was just making the shadow gems, because it took a second. But, anyways, we finished that one. I have been working on ours a bit. I did get our spells finished out. And I've been making tablets, and I've got to do tablets, and I've got to do the charms that we didn't use, which was most of them for this series, and the crystallizer and the potion jar, and the agronomic source link. But we've got the volcanic. Some of these quests I think changed at some point too, because like we had done this quest and I had to go do it again. I think it was a quest whenever we killed the Wilden to get our Archmage spellbook, but. And then we also got one other quest line to finish, and that is Forbidden Arcanus. This one is overdue. Let's go ahead and craft our Eternal Stella. There we go. Woo. We don't need it. We have an easier way to get Unbreakable, of course. Oh, we actually get a reward for that. 5 XP levels. Sounds good, because we had 186 levels on us. But we're steadily getting through, getting a lot of these tabs green. And I might, just by the end of it to say that we've done it all, I might end up doing these. Like, I don't care about them. But I might. I mean, it wouldn't take us that long. So, yeah, maybe by the end of it I might do that. And we'll do it on camera, just so we can build up our Maho. I'm not excited about it. But we might do it. This one's actually, whenever we sit down to do the rest of Mana and Artifice, this one's going to automatically finish up on its own, pretty much. This one's actually going to be really, really easy. We've got a little bit more that we're going to cover from that. This one's going to be a grind, but actually really, really easy. But it'll probably be one of the last ones I do, just to make sure we've got enough essence for our ATM stars, mostly. This one we're going to have to go through. This one's a little bit of a grind, but it's actually should be pretty quick, I think. This one's a lot of crafting. This one will be a bit more fun, and this one here will be a bit more fun. Those two. And actually, before we get started on what we are going to be doing today, I want to take a quick look at the quest down here. We have Weapon Collector. They do want us to get some Dragon Steel. This we should have, right? Because we've already done this. This one I don't even think is obtainable anymore. Oh, for this we have to get a Naga Stone head. The quest itself isn't unlocked. Because, like, we've got the dragon eggs. Okay, well, in that case, before we get started with what we're going to be doing today, maybe we need to unlock that so that it counts the eggs that we've got before we start hatching eggs. That might be a good idea. I was about to say, well, I could take my levels off. Because 3 levels at 196 levels is a lot of experience, but... Then again, I don't actually need experience, and we've got 318 levels in there. Plus the ability to make pretty much infinite XP, so it's probably not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead. Nagastone head. Let's pop back home. In that case, do we want to do the mechanical crafters first? Because, I mean, we would need 55 of them. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll just go ahead and do the mechanical crafters. Get that out of the way, and then maybe we can make the Patrick Star, since we're kind of moving into endgame anyways, or moving towards it. You know, we still got some cleanup stuff, some odd and end little things. We still got to get the last tier of Mana and Artifice, and we got a couple mods I want to cover. But, we're kind of starting to into endgame, and I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, let's go ahead and get endgame rolling, so that way if we have things that come up that take some time, we can let those kind of run, you know, sort of in the background. Let me go ahead. Oh, this thing stopped. Every once in a while it does this. This is because it ran out of cobblestone. Okay, yeah, it's because This thing has been running probably from where I was building and got stopped up. It happens every once in a while, so it's one of those things. If I ever come in this room and it's not running, I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably that. Okay, well, this is done. This room's so laggy. Alright, so now we should be able to do our brass casings. We're going to be doing 19 crafts. And I've got 3 in the system, so that should be good. And just because we can, let's go ahead, since we're going to be using this a bit, let's go ahead and make ourselves some Indestructible Sandpaper. Now we have Super Sandpaper. Alright, so I'm going to want a bit of this. I think I've got some still in the system, but let's just go ahead and do 19 of these. And that way we don't have to worry about durability on this. And then we'll get our electron tubes. I'm going to need a little bit more than that. And then we're going to get our mechanical crafters. Well, there we go. Okay. There's our 55 mechanical crafters. There's a pretty good chance that with what we've got set up here, we actually won't have enough mechanical power to do this right now. With the way that it's plugged up. Because right now it's just plugged up to the windmill. I don't know. The windmill might be able to run 55 mechanical crafters, but I can't say that it's something that that we've ever tried. Well, no, now that I think about it, didn't we, for Stacia, we had a lot of mechanical crafters plugged up. And that windmill, I don't think was as big as this one. So, and we're just going to set all this up. It's going to take a little bit to configure this. But it's one of those things, I was originally going to fill it off camera, but I was like, well, this is a lot of mechanical crafters. You know, it's something that we gotta do on camera. So there we go. And we are going to have the item come out. I can't remember, is it left side or right side? It is the right side. Let's grab our wrench. We're going to rotate that. You're going up. You're going left, left. Down, down, down. Now, this may not be the most optimal setup, the way we're setting it up right now, but I think it'll be alright. So something like that. Sounds good. Alright, now, the only way we'll know for sure if we can run this is by putting things in it. So let's take a look at the Patrick Star thing. Yeah, Patrick Star. We're going to need a bunch of concrete. And I'm actually going to be making a batch of this. I think most of it is just straight up finished concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this Patrick Star we use for the ATM Star. The ATM Star, we can make dragon eggs. I don't think it's really worth making dragon eggs. There's the Creative Spellbook. So that's one. I don't think this is actually used for anything. Though, I don't know. Might be worth making it. There's a Creative Source Jar, that's 2. Which actually I don't even think all these have quests. Creative Storage Upgrade, that's 3. Everlasting Guilty Pool is 4. Creative Dragon Meal I actually don't care for. You know, we don't really need it. And then the Philosopher's Stone is 5. The Creative Motor is 6. And then there's the Creative Blaze Cake, so 7. So I'm going to say probably, if we were to make, let's say, 10 ATM stars, I think that would be reasonable. Or at least make 10 Patrick stars in preparation for making ATM stars, right? So let's do that. We're going to need pink, magenta, green, lime, and that's it. Just those colors. I'm going to be making 4 stacks of each of the powders. And then what I'll do is I'll convert it. Yeah, I think I'll convert it like half, and then we'll lay it out and then figure out where we're at after that. Like, we could automate this fairly easily, you know, just using nodes or something like that, but I don't know. Because I feel like we would spend longer setting up the nodes than it would really be worth it, you know, because we're not going to actually be crafting a ton of this stuff. And the Patrick Star is extremely easy. It's literally just concrete. So But if we take a look here, let's see, the Patrick Star is going to be pink there. This is just a pink concrete powder. It's only a total of 5 pink concrete powder. So we could do 50, and that would give us all the pink concrete powder that we would need. So let's go ahead and lay this out. Because realistically, I mean, it would take a while to set this up. And I mean, really, we could set up hoppers to kind of preload this, but I think magenta, we need 8 of the powder. And then we also need 8 of the green concrete powder. Lime, we don't need any powder, and we actually barely even need lime. I could have got away with like a stack of that. I'm going to go ahead and just set 20 lime in there, and that way I can get all this out of my inventory. Okay, now let's see if we can just toss it into water in this pack, and if not, we can bulk wash it. You know, that's not a big deal. It won't take but a second. But if I throw that in, yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, which I don't really have like a dedicated spot for doing concrete, so I'm just going to do it up here. And technically, if we get to the end and we're missing some alchemy table, we can use that to convert our colors of concrete to whatever color we want. So that is an option. But we're just going to be converting all of this, and then we've got what we need set off to the side. Now, while that's running, I could probably count it out and see if we got too much of something. I can always cut it out. Yeah, actually, we only need 80 green concrete. We've got the lime that we need. Okay, so we should have all of the concrete that we need right here at this point. So lime is just going to go, I guess, on the knees. There. Okay, we do actually have enough mechanical power coming in from the windmill to actually run this. It's not super fast, but that's okay. So we're actually creating our very first Patrick Star. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a chest here. I can run this later, like when I'm editing footage. But that's what we're going to need to run the other 9 Patrick Stars. And one of them is going to go on a pedestal, of course. Actually, the first one we make probably will end up going on a pedestal because we won't need it for a little bit until we're actually ready to make our very first ATM star. But until that time comes, we'll just kind of hold on to it, you know. But we're going to need a few more of these. Because I want one for decoration, and then I want, you know, whatnot. One just to decorate with. There is our very first Patrick Star. And we know that all of our mechanical crafters are set up and configured correctly. Okay, so this Patrick Star, it can go right there. That's fine. Okay, super cheap to make. Now, I think we actually have to make like a sponge or something, because it's like a reference to the SpongeBob. So for this, okay, let's see, is there an easy way for me to make sponges? I don't think so. What am I missing for this exactly? Hearts of the Sea. We can actually make them with Turtlemancy. I know we've gone a little bit off course. We're gonna come back. I just don't want to start our Dragonforges and like before we're getting like full credit. And then let's pop over to Glug, and we're gonna get some water creature essence. Toss those in. Give it a second. There we go. There's our Heart of the Sea. And there we go. There's our other Heart of the Sea. Okay, so now at this point we just need sponges. Because I've got one sponge, but we're going to have to go basically just wipe out a Guardian Temple. Technically I've got a spawner for Guardians. So that's an option too, but let me just say, we have a Guardian, yeah, I was thinking we got a Guardian Temple up pretty close to us. Because this is one spawn that I found, or one waystone that I found while doing the apiaries. So let's just go ahead and let me grab this. Let's grab our break spell. Alright, I'm coming for you. I'm still on my broom, aren't I? It's okay, the broom actually handles very, very well in the water. There we go. Quest complete. Heart of the Guardian. It makes Guardians neutral. Oh, we finally got the debuff. Well, that's fine. There is our 4 sponges. Okay. And we got a Heart of the Sea, apparently. Alright, but I should just be able to smelt these sponges, so that's what we're going to do. Let's toss them down. There we go. There's our sponges. And then we can get our sponge for the quest. The extrapolated mega sponge. So that completes the Patrick Star quest line. There we go. And now we've unlocked the quest for the... Oh, I guess we got to get a Patrick Star again. That's okay. Oh, we actually have to turn this in. Interesting. Okay, well, we have to consume it. That's fine. And then we just need to grab our Dragonforge cores. There we go. That completes that quest, and then we kind of unlock all the rest of the stuff. And it also means that we unlock this stuff as well. Oh, it looks like we have to basically feed it another, like another Patrick Star here. That's fine. We need to do this quest too. We'll be setting up for that. Blood Bank. Okay, that's really easy. We're already set up for... Oh, and we gotta submit these. Okay. And we have... Oh, we have to submit the dragon eggs. Okay, so these are actually somewhat challenges. So at this point, if I get the Key of King's Law... Okay, it does count it now. Okay. Well, that's fine. None of these challenges... I mean, these challenges, they don't seem too bad. This, we can actually just go through and knock it out, and we will be using the alchemy table. And nether stars, I have thousands of them. Klein Star... Mana Star... Hey, I can actually make use of my Eternal Stella. At this point, let's grab our stuff for our Dragon Forges. And there's quite a few other quests in here that we'll be able to knock out really, really easily, like all of this. But what we need is the stuff, these right here, these alloy blocks. And I don't think we can craft them like... Oh, we can craft them in block form. Oh, wow. That's going to simplify things substantially. Because if we couldn't do that, the actual recipe for... if we take a look at these, we actually have to use the dust. Because I was... for some reason, I was thinking we had to craft the ingots and then compress them into blocks. So I was like, well, we're going to have to crush all these because they can only be broken down in the crusher. So it's going to be a whole nother step. But we can actually do this in block form, and that's going to simplify things a lot for us. Okay, so in this dimension, I noticed when we were fighting dragons last episode, especially like whenever we died and came back from that first ice dragon, I did notice that the dragons want to sleep in this dimension, which does mean we're not going to be able to set up our dragon forges in this dimension, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. So what we're going to do... I know I'm getting a lot of lag. It's because that create system, it would probably not be lagging if I reload, but I think here in a second it's not going to matter. What we're going to do, let's pop over... I don't know that we ever set up a waystone in that dimension. Let's just head through the teleporter to our dimension hall. And even though we can't set up our stuff in that dimension, we should be able to set it up in the other blue skies dimension, the Ever Bright, because it's always day in this dimension. It did that it did that last episode, right? It did it because if you recall, the blue skies tab was really wonky whenever we went through it. And it seems like it did bugs during the last episode. At one point. Because I was killing bugs that were attacking me. And it did it. So. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set up all of these. We'll start with the ice one, I think. And what we're going to do is we're going to go... Say right over here will be the ice. Yeah, right in here. So we're going to be going dragon brick, dragon brick, dragon brick, dragon brick, and in the middle is going to be dragon brick. Then we're going to have our dragon bone blocks, which I seem to remember they were very specific about alignment before. They may not be anymore, but we're going to have our core in the middle. We're going to put our aperture there in the front. And then this layer, it's going to be entirely dragon bricks. And then we just repeat that bottom layer. And then if it's all set up correctly, we can open it up. There we go. Okay, so that's the first one set up. And then we got to do the others. And then we actually have to do our dragons. So right over here, we're going to set up our fire. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make ourselves 3 dragon horns. These right here. And technically, when it comes to this step, technically you can use wild dragons. Just a little bit harder to do, but we're actually going to be hatching and growing some dragons. So what eggs do we have duplicates of? We have 2 emerald, which should be a fire. We have 2 copper, which should be a lightning. Ice we didn't get as lucky on, so we're just going to be going with a white dragon egg for that. So let's go ahead and let's just open a little area back here. Set down our flame, and we're going to put in our emerald dragon egg. And out of curiosity, because these take a little bit of time to hatch, we can't use time in a bottle. That's okay. But basically, we're going to want to kind of hang out near it. It doesn't take a really long time to hatch the dragons, but it can take a little bit of time. But you kind of want to stay close to it, because otherwise, sometimes the dragons hatch and they wander off or get themselves killed or something like that. So we kind of want to make sure and take care of them. Now, while that's going on, let's go ahead, take a look at the dragon meals. We can make 47 out of pork. We can make a bit more with beef. Let's go ahead and just make a bit of these. Honestly, this is probably fine, because we only have to get our dragons to tier 3 is all. And while we're waiting, let's go ahead and get ourselves a dragon command staff. Let's go with something that we've got doubles of for the skull. Let's go with a fire stage 3. Because I am planning on using some of those dragon skulls for decoration. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and get the dragon bone flute too. There we go. And now we just need to basically wait for this dragon to hatch. And then as we're growing this one, we'll go ahead and get the, the water one set up. But we want to make sure that the fire dragon doesn't see the water or the ice one. So we want to make sure and kind of keep them put up. Because like I said, the different breeds of dragons, they're arch enemies. They don't like each other, so they're going to try to fight. We want to try to avoid that, And I'll probably be a little bit like half AFK while we're running our dragons. And something I might do just to make this a little bit safer, we'll go ahead and block off this little area and make our little dragon a box to live in. There we go. I didn't like the look of you. You were eyeing my egg too much. And this will end up being the same room that we do the ice dragon as well. Lightning works a little bit differently, but that way I can kind of like half AFK while this is going on. As we give our dragon a little bit of time to hatch. Okay, our little baby dragon just hatched. So we're going to go ahead and, shift right click with the dragon horn, and we now have an unnamed male fire dragon inside of the dragon horn. Awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get this one going, because it's going to take it a minute too. We're going to go ahead and dig out a 3x3 and just turn this into water at this point. And we're going to take our ice dragon egg, put it down, we give it a second, it's going to turn that middle block there into ice. And now you can see the egg is starting to shake. So that one's going to take a little bit. Now what we're going to do is, let's take our dragon meals. Let's place down our little baby dragon. Oops. And we're just going to feed him. You can see right now he's still a stage 1. Oh wow, their health scales just like the ones that we were killing. So this is a stage 2. So if we were to breed our own stage 5, it could go toe to toe with the dragons that we spawn. And I guess that is technically an option for killing the dragons. Of course, the way damage works, you know, that's why our reflect, you know, I got to thinking a little bit before the last episode, our reflect, while being really, really good, probably won't be as effective for dragons because they have a lot of health, but they don't do a ton of damage. In the grand scheme of things, to actually have it reflected. You know, they're just bigger health sinks than the amount of damage that they actually dish out. So it wouldn't be quite as impactful to completely rely on the reflect, and so I really don't think that dragon's going to make much of a dent in an actual tier 5 dragon, you know, even if it was a tier 5. But it is an option, you know, it could help, or bring yourself in like a whole horde of dragons if you've got eggs, but of course you have to be able to actually get that stuff in order to do that, so I don't know. But let's go ahead, we're going to make ourselves some blocks of metal. Let me go over here near this just in case. But if we take a look here, one of these I think isn't used for that much, right? Like, we use this one for making the ATM star. Also for the transmutation tablet and for the philosopher's stone. We use them all for the philosopher's stone, but and this is the one that is made in the lightning Dragonforge. The one that is made in the ice Dragonforge, we use it for the philosopher's stone, and we use it to make like the super sword and stuff, but we actually don't need much of it. So I'm not going to make a lot of the ice one. And then the one that we need for the fire, or from the fire Dragonforge, we use it to make philosopher's stone, and we use the ingot one time for the Paxel, and that's it. So we actually don't need the fire one that much. So what we're going to do, I need 2 for the philosopher's stone. Let's go ahead and grab 2 vibranium, 2 aldomodium. We're going to throw that in, throw that in. We're going to set down our dragon near the forge. You see this is night 2? Really? Okay, yeah, we may not be able to use this dimension. We might actually have to go to the overworld. That's unfortunate. I was really banking on being able to use this dimension, as you can tell. There it was. This one, this isn't the first time. It might have just vanished. I've actually had that happen before. That was always an issue in 1.12, and I think it's still maybe somewhat of an issue. And do we have any other ice dragons? I don't think we do, to be honest. But that can wait, honestly, because I don't think we're going to need it for anything at the moment. It's not going to be until we basically get to the Philosopher's Stone, this step right here, which will be after we make our first ATM star. Alright, but at this point, let's go ahead and get ourselves another Ritual Brazier. And we're going to be making a Tablet of Cloud Shaping. And let's find ourselves a rooftop. And we're going to be setting up our dragon, like, right up here is fine. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit down on our Ritual Brazier, drop in our Tablet of Cloud Shaping. Yeah, it's got it. Items consumed, Lapis Lazuli block. Then we're going to activate this. And if we give it a minute, it's going to make it storm. You can also do, what is it, gunpowder for rain. Either one should work, just as long as it is raining. Then we should be able to hatch our copper dragon. And just like the other ones, it should work in other dimensions. But we're going to go ahead at this point, place down our dragon. Once it starts raining, we should see it start to squirm and wiggle. There we go, and that means it is working on hatching now. Now, let's go ahead at this point. We need to make all the armors. That is a quest that we have. So let's go ahead. I think I've got... Yeah, I've got all of this except for the boots. Though I guess I've got plenty of the materials. Let's just make all these pieces. And the helmet's the only one that we need for the quest. And honestly, I'll probably end up making a set of 3 and putting them up on a armor stand somewhere, just because we can. Then they want us to get the vibranium. And then they want us to get the unobtainium. And technically, we do have the enchanted pieces, but I'm not that worried about it. And honestly, for the armor stands, I'm going to want the unenchanted versions. Let's go ahead, before we take a little AFK, let's go ahead and turn in a few dragon eggs here. That one and gray. There we go. And actually, while we're at it, we need turtle eggs, magmatic turtle eggs. Oh my gosh, these are the shortest lived rainstorms ever. But the problem is, like, Minecraft wants it to be a certain weather condition. And so whenever you change it, it's just like, no. No, we don't actually want it to be that weather right now. You're not intended to be that weather right now. So it just keeps changing it back. So it's like this constant struggle. That's okay, we got plenty of resources. So since we're dealing with eggs a bit today, we'll go ahead and knock a few of those out. We're going to have to farm for a lot of these, and then we'll actually get to go out and explore some for some of these others. And then dragon egg crux, I just need to kill the dragon again, basically. But we'll actually be spending some episodes here pretty soon just working on the challenges, because there is a lot there and a lot of stuff we have to do and cover and whatnot, so we'll be spending some time there. Okay, our dragon just hatched. Took me a few tablets, but we're going to go ahead and grab our lightning dragon, and I was just going ahead and setting up this, because we're going to go ahead and make use of this. We're going to need a bunch of this one. Let's see. It's going to be 28 of these per ATM star. 28 blocks of it. So if we do this, that's going to give us enough for a couple stars. Alright, so let's go ahead at this point. Let's drop down our lightning dragon, and we're going to feed it up a little bit. If you click near it, it feeds it, but then it also opens it. There we go. No, now, that's why we brought the dragon command staff, though. Yeah, I want you to stay right about here. Well, maybe not right there. Maybe right there. And it's going to start crafting our blocks. And we could probably... well, it'll speed up the crafting, but it won't actually speed up this part. It looks like. So this is going to take a little bit of time. For sure. Now, if we were to make the dragon bigger, does it make it fill the bar faster? Like if we were to go... Hiya! Way up, right? To where this dragon... And now I don't want to ride the thing. You're too big. You're too big to power this. Go ahead. You can power it with these big ones, but you just gotta figure out the placement. There we go. Yeah, it seems like that speeds it up a bit, maybe. It feels a little bit faster anyways. So we'll go with that. It comes out of his neck, apparently. He lost the ability to breathe from his mouth. Now he just breathes from his neck. But there we go. But yeah, I don't know that it's really any faster. I think it's probably about the same. Oh, there's a skeleton here. Wow, how many heads did that skeleton drop? How many heads does it own? 2. Okay. Logic. Absolute logic. Alright. How you doing? We're up to 3 unobtainium blocks. At this point, I am going to mark this. This is going to be the location for our forges. Forges. Like that. Let's go ahead and grab that. That's going to complete 1 quest for us. And it would appear it wants all of them to actually unlock the ATM star quest. That's fine because all they want is the ATM star, so you know, we won't need this unlocked until we're actually ready to make the ATM star. But yeah, I'm going to have to try to get another ice dragon egg, but that's fine. It's just a matter of just farming ice dragons and just ice dragons until we get an egg, which I guess really I'm probably going to end up, because I'm going to need all the different dragon eggs, I'm probably going to have to farm a bit of dragons. But that's fine, because that way we can get some dragon scales and make some decorative armor. I basically need 2, just 2 of the fire dragon eggs. I need all 4 of the ice dragon eggs to submit. And then I need 3 different lightning dragons. Now technically I can submit this one at this point. So we can go ahead and do that. So really we're only missing these 2 for the lightning dragons. And then we have to go get, a few other eggs. Kill the ender dragon one more time, not a big deal. And then while I'm doing it, I can farm up the fire dragon, ice dragon, and lightning dragon blood. Yeah, and it looks like I'm going to have to farm up just a little bit of fiery blood too, because we're going to be just a little bit short for that. And then we need dark tanks filled with blood and dark tank filled with life essence. Just 16,000 millibuckets though, which is actually not much. And we can chunk load this, but what I'm probably going to do is just kind of hang out here while they're crafting, because we don't need much of the others. We just need a couple blocks. It's really just the lightning dragon that we need a lot of this essence, or this alloy block. So these others, we can set them up just briefly, and that'll be fine, It's kind of interesting it's not sleeping, so it might be possible to set it up in our dimension. I'm going to go ahead and craft it here, just to make sure before I don't want to move them again to test it. Maybe we'll test it once we get them moved, but we'll go ahead and set those up, and that way we can do all of our crafting on top of this big mushroom. Let's go ahead and set this up, and we're going to call this Dragonforges. There we go. I don't know, with the dragon being that big, it's actually kind of epic. He's just going to town, breathing out of his neck at this point. But yeah, so anyways, with that, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode. So next episode, when we come back, we will either begin working on the ATM star a little bit, getting some things together, or we'll be doing some mod wrap up or some smaller mod coverage or character progression. That's pretty much what we have left at this point. We got one more round of like small mods that we're going to cover. Probably just 1 episode if I had to guess, but we'll see. And then a quick character progression, which we got to do mod cleanup or mod wrapping up before we do that character progression episode. And then it's mostly going to be ATM star and post ATM star stuff, after that, and challenges and things. So we'll be doing something next episode. I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.